Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we roll in closer and closer to that 760 shows, which is amazing for 15 years on the air here in Memphis, Tennessee. And the second Saturday of the month, I'm going to have to start billing him more, and his pay scale is going to have to double because he's here more than me sometimes, and that's Ron Wong.
Good morning, everybody, and I was so happy to be here.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I have wound down from the Bassmaster
No, you haven't wound
Classic
down
yet because
you're still in Tulsa.
I have to tell you, what a spectacle by the contenders, all of them. BASS in the city of Tulsa.
Yeah, it's
absolutely amazing, a wonderful time, a lot of surprises, and I have to tell you something. I was so happy that our dark horse.
Say that.
Outdoors with Larry Ray, we had picked him to say he could win the Bassmaster Classic, and he came really, really close.
Yes, he did. That's Todd Faircloth out of Jasper, Texas. Good morning, Todd.
Hey, guys. How y'all doing this morning?
We're doing great, buddy. And we talked to you the last time. We could see that fire in your eyes. You couldn't wait to get up there, and to tell our listeners a little bit about the experience. You've been there plenty of times. Was this one of those times that the drive was really going for you?
Yeah, it was. Well, I mean, every time we go to the Classic, you're fired up about it. It only comes around once a year, and it's a battle just to get there. So
yeah, it was for you. Yeah,
when you get there, you want to excel and give it your all, and it was a great Classic. It was one that you asked to. You try to put yourself in contention for that final day, and I did that, and when a guy catches a bag like Edwin caught the last day, you just kind of take your hat off to him. And, when you get beat by that much, it's a lot easier for me to accept than if you get beat by a few ounces.
A few ounces. Pounds. Yeah, and I don't think people out there don't realize the Bassmaster Classic, this is a game of ounces, and any other pro sport, speed, things like that, and power and things like that. But you can lose in sudden death. But to get beat by, what is the closest? Now I've got to ask you this. I hope you don't mind. What is the closest you have come? Somebody nipped you out by how many ounces?
Oh, I don't know that number to be exact, but I've won a few tournaments that have been pretty close.
See, there you go.
Close,
it's so important. Every fish that you get in there. It's ounces. Ounces determine this thing, and and I know when you go into a tournament, you're not looking at ounces, but how much ounces are important. But tell our listeners out there the experience, Todd, because I know that you were pumped up to go up there. The lake, Ron's talked about the lake itself. It was different from December when you guys were back there practicing. They had floods and things along that line, and I don't know how you prepare for something that's unpreparable.
Well, it seems like every time I've been to Grand, it's been a different fishery than I've been there before. So it was no different this time. It was different, a lot different from three years ago when we were there, as far as water clarity. The weather and
the weather.
It was just a lot different. I didn't. The lake has been at normal level or for over a month now, and you would just think as a fisherman that the water clarity would have been cleared up by then, but
no.
There was the upper part of the lake and the Elk River that were fairly clear, and then once you got below like Honey Creek down south, the water was really, really dirty, and it just never cleared up. And I guess what happened is the only thing I can figure out is they were running a lot of water. And then when they shut the gates down there, the dirty water just stayed down there.
Yeah.
And, it just never filtered out. But it was definitely different. I was excited about it. I had a tough practice, but, was able to put myself, in position going on that last day. I was catching my fish on a Strike King Bitsy Bug jig and a Strike King Lucky Shad crankbait, just fishing channel swing banks. It didn't really seem, I couldn't pinpoint one particular piece of cover. I caught them off of rock, wood, and docks, but it seemed like I had to have some deep water access pretty close by. And that's just kind of what I ran with. And, I wasn't getting a whole lot of bites during the course of the day, but, I fished pretty good up until that last day. I didn't lose any fish. The last day I lost a couple, but it wouldn't have made a difference when a guy catches 29 pounds.
Yeah.
I fished a clean tournament, and that's all you can ask
That's
for.
all you can ask.
And that's.
Wasn't,
go ahead.
It just wasn't. When a guy does something like that, it's just like I said earlier, you just kind of tip your hat to him.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of guys had. Edwin had not even went back there. Everybody knows now where he caught them at, and I know there were several other anglers that went back there the first couple of days, and they didn't do anything close to that.
No, that's exactly right.
He hit the conditions right. He knew, the conditions were going to be right for back there, and he went out on it. He took a gamble, and
it paid off.
And that's a fairly small area where he caught his fish. I know that Randy Howell was also on the same fish, but when he was there, the conditions weren't right.
Mm-hmm.
And Todd, earlier you talked about you fished clean in the tournament. Tell our listeners what you're talking about when you're fishing clean.
Well, it's hard to keep your focus throughout the day when you're not getting a whole lot of bites. I think as fishermen, we tend to fish better when we're catching a lot of fish, and you pay attention to detail. You really dialed in. We tend to get a little less dialed in and less concentrated when we're not getting very many bites during the course of the day. And I felt like I kept my focus, and I fished slow, I fished methodically, and when I got a bite, I made it count. I put them in the boat, and the last day we had really, really strong winds.
Yes, we did.
A lot of fish behind the docks with that jig, and it was just really hard to skip the jig underneath the cables and stuff like that with that high wind. So I lost a couple by casting over the cables, and I'd hook one and bust them off or lose them, just because of I feel like more so the wind than anything else. But I fished a clean tournament, and it just like I said,
Edwin
we had a pretty good tournament between the rest of us besides Edwin there going in the last one.
Todd, this tournament, a lot of the guys use some baits that people kind of not even think about using anymore. They think they're old. It's not new. It's not some of the new technology stuff, new colors and everything else. But just like you used a Strike King Bitsy Bug.
Yeah.
I mean, when was the last time anybody talked about using a Bitsy Bug? And
Todd's talked about it a lot.
Yeah.
So.
But what kind of clued you in that this is what these fish want?
The 3 years ago when we were there, I caught them on that same jig.
Really? Okay.
It's just a finesse jig. It's a light wire jig. It's a real compact jig. But what I found about that particular head design on that jig is it comes through the rock, the brush, and stuff really, really good. And you don't get hung up much. And I was having I tried a bigger jig, and I just couldn't get bit on it as good. And we would all like to flip a big jig on a big line, and set the hook as hard as we can and all that stuff. But I just couldn't get a lot of those fish I was catching were out off the cover a little bit, and I was actually working the jig out off the break a little bit. And that small jig with that 10-pound sunline that I was throwing, I could keep in contact with the cover real good, and it was just a finesse deal. Those fish weren't going to move a great distance to, get a bait, so it was almost just like force feeding them, and there was a little piece of candy down there, and they'd eat it.
Oh, I love that. I love candy, and fish love candy. Again, we're talking to Todd Faircloth of Jasper, Texas, competing in the Bassmaster Classic. And you mentioned something about don't get hung up, because time is important on the water, isn't it, Todd?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it definitely is, and some jigs just, I mean, we've all fished all kinds of different jigs, different head designs and stuff like that, and some jigs just hang up more than others, and it has to do with your line tie and the head design of the jig, and you got to maximize your time when you're out there fishing a tournament. We're on a clock, so
we're on the clock. Yeah,
on the clock. Every cast counts, and I feel like the more times you make a high percentage cast, the better opportunity you're going to have to get more bites. So,
and you only make
numbers.
You only make 10 or 15 casts all day. So, I mean, somebody told me that 700 casts. I mean, there's no telling how many casts you guys make in that time frame. But again, congratulations. What's next for you? When are you going? What's in your future here as we close out?
Our Elite Series kicks off in Florida.
Yes.
And I'll leave Friday, headed down the St. Johns River.
St. Johns River. You're going from Grand Lake to St. Johns River. You talking about adapting.
That's kind of a diverse fisheries there.
Yeah. You're going to. You might run into.
Well, Todd, I'll run into you throughout the Elite Series.
Yes, he will.
I'll be going to some of them and covering, and we want to here at Outdoors with Larry Ray wish you all the best.
Yeah, man.
This year, I expect to see you in the Classic in 2017.
Oh, I'm more than expect. I'm going with Todd all year now. He's my man now. So go for him, Todd. Thank you again, buddy. Have a great one down there in Florida. Be careful, and we'll talk to you again, okay?
All right, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, let's take a break, and it rolls on. We're staying in Texas.
Yeah, we're going to stay in Texas. I got to tell you something.
Yeah.
Loving talking all this fishing stuff.
I know you are. You just can't. I wish we had a camera on Wong over here, I mean, the guy's just, his eyes are wide open and everything's wheeling around. Oh, man. We'll be right back on ESPN 790.